Hey everyone, Pete here from sportconsumer.com. Appreciate you joining me today just to check out what on earth is a Love My Libre. Most of you who know anything about our videos will know that most of the videos talk about how to choose the right sports equipment or leisure activity type of equipment for your family. Today is a little bit different. Today we're talking about a product. It's actually a review. I don't do too many of them, but today I just felt compelled to do this. In fact, I don't even make any money on this. A lot of the money that we make here in this channel is from Amazon. I'm associated with them and I get affiliate commissions. If you guys click through any of my links below and go to Amazon, I get a small percentage of what you pay. You don't pay anymore, but I get some money from Amazon. That's kind of how it works, and thousands upon thousands of people do the same thing. Today, I don't have any link to Amazon regarding the product that I'm going to talk about, but I think it's helpful for everyone to know about this, and that's why I'm doing it. I'm a pretty active guy. I'm over 50. I'm an old guy, but I do a lot of things. I run 5Ks, I'm a basketball skills coach, and unfortunately one of the things that is a little bit of an impediment to me is that I have type 1 diabetes. And I won't get into all that. Probably if you're watching this, you know what that's all about, and you know what a Freestyle Libre is. All right, if you look at the title of the video, I Love My Libre. What is that? Well, I'm going to tell you what that is. If you don't know what a Libre is, then you probably don't need to know the product that I'm talking about. But for those of you who are familiar with a Libre or you're using one yourself, you will know that they are somewhat vulnerable. All right, they do have a low profile on your skin, but you can still smack them against a door or something sharp. In fact, I don't know anybody who has diabetes or who wears a Libre who says that they haven't knocked it off. Oftentimes when you're getting up out of a chair, you'll rub your arm on the back of the chair and or on the side of it, and you'll just, you'll knock it off. Everybody I know has done that. So in light of all the activities that I do, I went online to find something that would remedy that situation, and I did find a lot of sort of, I don't know, cheaper looking weird straps that you put over it, or a wrap or a cover over your arm where you apply the Libre, and they just looked cheap, and they were all between, say, like $10 and $20 typically for something that would go around your arm. And I kept looking for something that would be even better, because this is my whole life I'm talking about here, right? Diabetes. And so I did find something, and something that caught my eye. It was on Etsy, and it is called Love My Libre. And what it is it's this thing that I have on my arm right now. So you can see that this is the little orange thing. It comes in different colors, but that covers the Libre, which is right under there, right? And so the idea is that it's just a protection for, external sort of hits and scrapes and bumps. And it's really just a neoprene strap. Here, you can take a closer look at it here. It's a neoprene strap that Velcro and hard plastic. And then the inside here is where the sensor would fit in. And so when I got this, it's an interesting story. It's kind of relevant. You kind of need to know this. I found this and I thought, well, that's great. Let me order one. Well, first thing I find out is that it's fairly expensive. But I thought, you know what? Whatever. I'll deal with that. I just want something that works well, looks pretty good, and that can help me with my any problem I might have with my sensor. So I ordered one as best I could based on the criteria, measure your arm, all of that. Problem is, I got it, and in spite of my best efforts, this one that I ordered is just simply too big. And the Velcro and the adjustability only goes so far, and it just was beyond its range. And I thought, oh man, now what do I do? So I contacted the seller The seller is in the UK, and I thought, oh man, this has got to travel halfway around the world, and I don't know what they're going to say, and how are we going to deal with this? And I got to say, Samantha from Love My Libre, wonderful person to deal with. Sandra said, I explained my situation, and she said, don't even worry sending it back, I'll send you another one. And not only did she send me another one, but she actually did a customized one. She manufactured one. She made it from scratch to fit my arm perfectly. I did a specific measurement, and of course I got the new one a week and a half later or something like that, and it was perfect. All right, so the question is now, how does it work? Well, to answer that, I'll get into some positives and some negatives. All right, so let's start off with the good. The good is that I just love the way it looks. I'm not like a tough guy, but I kind of like to look tough sometimes, right? So this kind of makes me look kind of like, some sort of tough dude, until you see the orange, I guess. But when you get up close, instead of looking tough, it kind of looks like a piece of tech, like I'm a half cyborg or something like that. So I don't mind that. I get a few questions, and then just usually a positive response, like, oh wow, that's cool. So it does work as advertised. So if something were to smack you, or to whatever, some sort of external force were to affect this, yeah, it is protection in that sense. When I'm sleeping or kind of rolling around at night, or like turning over or something, it does offer a little bit of protection as well. So it does what it's supposed to do, and it looks good doing it, more so than others that I've seen. I do a lot of weightlifting. In fact, this video is being shot in my weight room. And so I've got 4 or 5 different machines in here, and so I'm always doing something, and including working on my triceps, and it works great. It doesn't, it's not intrusive at all, and yeah, it's just something that I use on a daily basis. So I really do love my Libre. All right, is it a perfect product? Of course, it's no product is. So the obvious benefits, I think I've just touched on. Like, it's just there to protect the Libre. It fits perfectly onto the Libre, and it works as advertised. But there are a few negative-ish things. All right, in my opinion, the negatives are not big enough to negate buying one. I think the positives outweigh the negatives, but here are a couple of negative things just to keep in mind. Number one, when you order Love My Libre, it's on Etsy, by the way. You can just type in Love My Libre on Etsy and you'll find it. It's coming from the UK. So if you're in the UK, great. It'll be nice and quick. If you're from the US or Canada, it just takes a little while longer. It's not that bad. I think it was about a week and a half or something like that, instead of 2 or 3 days. So that's one small issue. The other issue is that most of the junky ones you kind of see online are, I mentioned earlier, between like usually around $10 to $15. Well, that's US. I live in Canada, and so by the time you take the conversion into account, and the just extra fees of this and that, import fees or whatever, postage fees, all that stuff, I ended up paying $41 for it, okay, for a strap around your arm. So I gotta say, that's not super cheap compared to the other ones, obviously, but we are talking about something that should last your lifetime. There's no reason that it shouldn't. It's not gonna break, and diabetes is something that you're probably living with for the rest of your life, and I'm guessing you'll probably want the best equipment you can have to deal with whatever issues arise in your lifestyle. And so that's kind of why I bought this one instead of a $10 one from Amazon or Etsy. So it is a little bit pricey, but I don't know your situation, but I'm guessing that it's not super restrictive. It might be a tough pill to swallow, but it's not super restrictive. You'll be able to get one of these. So That's the other negative thing. And here's the final negative thing. And this is not a slam on Love My Libre. This is just a observation for anything that goes over your Libre. If you bump up against, say, a wall, like a corner of a wall with this, and you actually, or you're playing sports and somebody grabs this and, you know, accidentally pulls on it. If it were not here on your arm, and the Libre itself you just had that. The Libre itself is a fairly low profile with kind of rounded edges on it, and it can potentially kind of like slide under things like the edge of a wall or a corner or something like that, and you probably will get away with without too much damage. It could rip off, and this is trying to stop that. But on the other hand, because the unit that I'm wearing, the Love My Libre, is a cap that goes on top of the Libre itself, it has to be obviously bigger. And the corners and edges of the Love My Libre band, or the cap, they're not really that rounded and sleek. And so what that means is that when it goes up against something, and you actually, you know, a wall or something comes like this and catches the edge of the plastic cap, it can potentially be even more of a problem in terms of ripping off your arm or ripping off the Libre than if you didn't have it at all. Because if you didn't have this, as I mentioned, your Libre is a lower profile with rounded edges, and it might just slide right under the corner of the wall or the back of the chair that you might be rubbing your, excuse me, I'm real. It might slip under the corner of the chair that you're rubbing your arm against. So it could potentially be even more problematic in some cases than not having it at all. All right, now it sounds kind of weird and counterintuitive to think, how can a protector of your Libre be problematic to your Libre? Well, I have not experienced that. I'm just kind of using my own logic here. All right, so that could be a potential problem. However, there's no way that the negatives that I mentioned would make me go, well, I'm not buying the thing. No. I really, really like it. It looks good, it feels good, it does protect it for the most part. And by the way, I didn't mention earlier as a positive, obviously because it's meant for your Libre, you will be able to, you know, read right through this very easily. In fact, if you know your Libre, you'll know you can read through a lot of stuff. I wear this, and then I wear like a sweater on top of it, and then I wear a puffer jacket, a winter jacket that's like you know, half an inch thick everywhere, and I can still read nicely through. So this is not going to impede the signal from the Libre reader to the sensor. So overall, yes, I would recommend this. That's kind of why I'm doing the video. Otherwise, I would just sort of chuck it in the garbage if I didn't like it. But I really do love my Libre, and I would recommend it. I would be very careful about how you measure your arm when you send in your order. And I would say, other than that, get ready for some really, really, really good service from Samantha from Love My Libre in the UK. Thank you if you're watching. Appreciate your help, and I trust you'll do that to hundreds and hundreds of other customers over the coming months. All right, thanks for joining me here on sportconsumer.com channel. If you appreciate videos like this, please do be nice to me. I need somebody to be nice to me. Yeah. Give me a like and a subscribe. Give me your comments as well. Do you have anything like this? Have you tried anything like this? Are you going to? Do you have any questions about it? I can answer a few things, but most of your questions, the gal who makes this can answer them a lot better. So check it out. Love My Libre is on Etsy, and you can go grab yours now. And until next time, I do hope you have a wonderful day. I will talk to you very shortly, probably sooner than you think, if you subscribe. That is. Okay? Bye.